Okay, so this is a continuation of converting numbers into scientific notation. Now we're going to talk about how if you have numbers in standard or scientific notation, converting them back into standard. So standard notation is when we don't have the times 10 to the power. That's how we start out, how we look at them with all the digits. So for those of you following along, we are at key concept number 2 on the notes here. And we're going to start with example 1, which is write 4.3225 times 10 to the 5th in standard notation. Okay, so what we want to do is move that decimal 5 spaces, and the reason I know that is because there is an exponent of 5. Now, since it's positive 5, this number's got to turn out to be a very large number. So when I do this, my work kind of looks like this. I will write my decimal that they give me, 4.3225, and now I'm going to move this 5 spaces. To make this a large number, I'm going to move this out to the right 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's where my decimal lands. Now there's a blank space, and in the blank space we want to put a 0. So that's my work. We don't want to leave the answer like that though, because now we need to know where should the decimal really end, and that's at the end of this. So your answer would be 43225, and your decimal is technically at the end, making this 432,250. You can put a comma back in it if you want to help know what that number is. Okay, let's try again. So next one, 3.213 times 10 to the 8th. Again, we want to do the workout by writing that decimal 3.213 and then using our pen or pencil to move that decimal 8 places. Again, 8 is positive, so we want this number to be really large when we're done. So we're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we stop. Now notice that it's not 8 zeros here that we're filling in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, because 3 of those spaces are taken up by the 2, 1, and the 3. So that's only 5 zeros, not 8 zeros. Okay, so our final answer is 3, 2, 1, 3, and then we have 5 zeros after that. And then our decimal point is at the end. If you want to really know what that number is, put the commas in, and you get 321,300,000. So that's what we want. We want a large number because it's a positive exponent. This is a similar process for if you have the negative exponents, only you probably guessed what's going to happen here. So if you have 3.7 times 10 to the 6th power, or 10 to the negative 6, excuse me, you're going to start with your 3.7, but since we need to make this a small number, we're going to move left 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I wrote over that. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros on this one, because one of those spots is taken up by the 3. So our answer this time, our decimal we want to keep, is way out in front. And then we put in our 5 zeros, and then 3 and 7. Now this doesn't get any commas because it is a really small number that we have here. And that's our answer. All right, one last one then to finish this off. We've got 4.3225, and this is times 10 to the negative 5. So even though we have all these numbers back here already, negative means we want to move this left to make this smaller yet. So we're going to move left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. Fill in the zeros, so we have 4 zeros, and now this is point 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and then the 4 and the 3, 2, 2, 5. And that's the final answer for that one. Okay, so the idea when we're going back into standard form is that when we have positive exponents, we're going to move our decimal, positive, we move our decimal to the right. And if we have negative exponents, to go back into standard, we're going to move our decimal to the left. And this is opposite of what we did when we did scientific notation because we are undoing it. All right, some extra examples, and if you're in my own classroom, then you have this worksheet. It's scientific notation. We are on the side 2 now. Practice 1, side 2. Make sure it says side 2 up there. Let's do a couple examples so that you can be on your way to getting this homework done. All right, let's go back in standard. So 4.62 times 10 to the 8th power, positive 8. If you use your notes, right, positive means move right. So we're going to do our work down here. We're going to say 4.62, and we're going to move 8 spaces. We need to make this a big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fill those in with zeros. Again, not 8 zeros. How many? 2 of them are taken up by the 6, 2, leaving us with 6 zeros. So when we write our answer, 4, 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, and then put your decimal at the end. And you'd look at it, is that a big number? Is that a number you would want in your bank account? Yes. And that positive 8 should indicate that this is a number that you would want in your bank account, a big number. All right, let's move on to number 2. What about if it's a negative exponent? Again, we took the notes. Negative says move left. All right, so we are going to write our work down here. 1.2561. 5 is our exponent and it's negative, so we're going to move left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. There's my decimal. Fill in my zeros. One of those spaces got taken by the 1, so I have a decimal point and I have 4 zeros, and then a 1, 2, 5, 6, 1. And that's my answer. Hopefully you found this helpful in converting numbers back into standard notation from scientific. If you have my class, then you are going to want to finish the rest of the practice 1 worksheet, both sides, and get those in as soon as you are back in class. Okay, have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video.